Hello, you lovely people, and welcome to Off the Record. I'm your host, Tom Turner, alongside the beautiful and intelligent Lewis Speed.
Thank you, Tom, and haven't we got a great show for you today to start off the series, coming to you from Media City?
That's right, coming up on the show this week, we've got the wonderful Katie Louise Buxton interviewing Essie Sparrow on her debut EP. She'll also be putting us to the test on our music knowledge with a gig rundown to boot.
Me and Tom will give our insights on our favourite independent artist and venue of the week, and we'll get speaking to Salford-based band Stepover on their exciting future.
Oh, Lewis, I'm very excited for that.
Me too, but first, let's go to Katie for this week's music news.
Warming up for the year, there are plenty of gig announcements and new releases. Most excitingly for me, Joy Crooks is back with her new single, Past the Salt, featuring Vince Staples, and it doesn't disappoint. FKA Twigs has announced her 2025 tour dates, announcing her Exexia tour in September last year. The tour starts in Prague in March. And finally, we have to mention the Glasgow lineup. After declaring he wouldn't be headlining due to the BBC's involvement, and then quickly stepping back to say that he is headlining after being given the wrong information, Neil Young is the second confirmed headliner. What do you think, boys?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tom, it's a really bizarre situation.
It is, it makes me laugh. I know that Greg James did a bit on it, but I think it's just, it really makes me laugh how this is, this is the biggest festival in the world, and there's some massive artists, Neil Young, and it just seems like he doesn't really want to be there. Yeah. It just kind of, it really amuses me because it's kind of, I don't know,
Well, he changed his mind within a matter of hours, and I wonder what went on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I would love to be a fly on the wall in Neil Young's management room. Just
Absolutely.
kind of, no, Neil, take it back.
Tom, I've got a sneaky suspicion it was a bit to do with this.
Was it a bit of the
yeah, the sneaky suspicion. But yeah, we've seen artists drop out of festivals before for stuff like this, especially during COVID. Yeah. There was a lot of artists dropping out because of vaccine mandates and stuff like that. And I guess it brings in a bit of politics here. I don't know whether he had an issue with the BBC itself.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know what, Lewis? We cannot speculate.
Yeah.
But you know what we can speculate about?
Tell me.
Kate Louise Buxton went over, had a good old natter with Essie Sparrow. We teased it at the start of the show about her influences and her brand new debut EP. Still upset about it, actually. Here's a small clip from the interview.
And how do you feel now that the EP is out there in the world?
I feel so relieved. I feel so happy to have a piece of work out there that I can reference and talk about. And I think for so long I was playing in pubs and didn't have work on Spotify or anything. So it's so lovely to be you can listen to me on the real live streaming platforms. And I think also just sharing it with people and people coming back and being when I released Delusional, one of my good friends was I did not know other people did that, and I do that all the time. And I was oh, that's exactly why I wanted to write that. And then other people will say things that reminds me of driving late at night and the lights skimming over your head as you're driving, and someone else would be it reminds me of a warm coffee shop. And I think that is such a special thing to have with people, where you can talk about something that you created with them. So I'm really excited, and it's been so lovely having it on different radio shows and getting discovered by people like you, who I was how did you even find this?
It's the magic of TikTok, isn't it? That's where I'm really happy for it. Well, what I'm thinking about at the moment is moving into the new year, and lots of people are asking what's going to be your New Year's resolution. Yeah. And this is probably really cheesy, and I'm sorry to do this to you, but mine is sort of inspired by you.
Oh.
Because I want to take a bit of your throwing yourself into things but doing it your way. Yeah. Because it's still cozy, and it's even though you're not outdoors when you're watching TikTok, it's out. It gives you that feeling that you get when you get a breath of fresh air, right? Mm. So it's trying to keep doing things and be braver and just really have a go and go for it and try and not freak out.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. That's amazing.
Thanks. No, thank you. And I guess, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
It's funny that you said that, because I remember last New Year's, my resolution was simply to put more music on online. So like now it's just bizarre that like that was the resolution, and now I have an EP and like people listening to it in Romania, which is wild. So I think like I know some people hate New Year's resolutions, but I find them really, really powerful, and like it really helps me to think outside the box for myself. So I think next year, oh crap, I did have one. I think it is like more live performances and just trust in myself more and aim higher. Like sometimes I can keep my goals really like soft because I'm like, I'll definitely achieve them that way. But I'm like, no, I'm going to support Katie Tunstall on tour. That's where we're going.
That would be great.
Anyone knows Katie? Get her in.
And Katie joins us on the couch now. Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on Off the Record.
Thank you for coming. This is the bit I've been most excited for. I'm ready to pummel Lewis into
you
the
going
ground
down, Tom.
with my musical knowledge.
You going down.
I'm all focused for the quiz.
Okay.
It's your first ever show, right?
It is indeed.
Absolutely.
How's it going? How are you feeling?
It's going well.
You know,
what? I wish I had a better co-host, but other than that, I'm very, very happy.
Hey, listen, I've got to admit, he's one of the best. So, getting to work with Tom is an honour in itself.
Thank you very much,
so yeah, it's been going well.
So, with that in mind, your first ever show, I thought for the quiz, I would use firsts.
Ooh, I like that. Very nice. Idea. I like that.
So I've got 3 questions, and I know you both personally. You're both music buffs.
Yeah.
So it's not even multiple choice.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little bit scared, Tom.
No, I'm not scared at all. In fact, Lewis, I'm confident.
Right, we've got 3 questions, so there has to be a winner, really.
There must be one. And at the end of the final show, there'll be a forfeit for the overall loser.
There is a forfeit, yeah.
Which will be revealed in due course.
Later. Okay, right, let's get started.
Okay. So, I'll ask you a question,
yeah,
and then I'll count down from 3, and if you both say your answer at the same time.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. This is good.
Right, I'm ready.
So if you know me, which you do, Arctic Monkeys are one of my favourite bands of all time.
Oh, Sheffield band.
Absolutely,
no.
This is for you.
Yeah.
Where are the southern bands?
Yeah. What is their first ever single? What was Arctic Monkeys' first ever single?
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
If you don't know this...
Oh, okay, I think I've got it.
I could see the EP. I think I'm wrong, but I'm just going to say it.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
I bet that you look good on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Right, so I guess that's a draw there.
That's
Tom.
a draw. Okay.
All right, we'll
You
take that as a
tied.
draw.
Now, next up, I've got another UK legend.
Okay.
So, fun fact, both Amy Winehouse and Arctic Monkeys were up for a Mercury Prize in 2007. That was for Amy's second album, Back to Black. But what is the name of Amy Winehouse's first album?
It's...
No.
Oh, okay. I think I've got it.
Oh.
Sweat is dripping
Came
down
out in
his
2003,
head. He's nervous.
if that helps.
Tom, my mind's gone blank. I don't know it.
It's To Pimp a Butterfly.
Oh!
That's not really, I was just joking.
Can you imagine if that was? How did I know that?
Oh,
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
ready.
3, 2, 1.
Amy Winehouse?
No.
Oh, was it not?
No.
Oh, no.
It was Frank.
Oh, of course it was. Oh,
I
she
feel
does
like
have a
I've
self-titled one,
I
right?
feel like I've let a lot of people
She's
down
got
here
Frank
today.
and Back to Black.
Oh, she only have 2 albums. Well, I'm not showing a very good demonstration of my
Yeah,
skills.
all right, okay.
Okay,
Well,
here we go.
I guess you both tied, right?
We're still
Right,
tied. so
okay, this is the
first
big
one right.
question. This is the big question.
Maybe it was too harsh. Maybe I should have
Maybe
done that
we
one
just...
more.
Hey, I've watched the
choice.
film a couple of times. You know?
should have known.
Yeah.
Now, last up is a Beatles question.
Okay.
So we all love the Beatles. Now, I know that when I was talking about this before, you heard the question I might have asked, but I've changed it.
Oh, no, I was getting ready for that one.
Yeah, me too.
So, we all love Ringo Starr. He's some people's favourite Beatle, he's some people's least favourite Beatle. But he wasn't their original drummer.
I knew it.
So, who was the original drummer for the Beatles?
Oh, Tom.
You know what? Have you got it?
I was literally listening to a podcast talking about this the other day.
No,
I actually was, but I can't remember.
You're perfectly prepared then. That's what I'd say. You should know it.
They were talking about the fifth beat.
No, it's not.
The fifth Beatles, Brian Epstein.
Yeah, but they talked about the poor drummer as well, and I just can't.
Wait, was it the Upshot?
It was the Upshot.
It was the Upshot. I was listening to the same thing. I was like, I can't remember what they said.
Yeah, it was the Upshot, and they were talking about it.
Yeah, and I can't remember what it was.
And we've let ourselves down, I think, Tom.
Okay, you're going to go for a guess? Do you want to go for a guess?
Brian Smith.
Brian Smith,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I'm going to go Dave Grohl.
No, it's Pete Best.
Oh, no. Yeah, because they were talking about George Best.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
We both listened to this podcast.
And neither of you know.
Neither of us got it.
Because I always, when I say Pete Best, I always think, if I said the footballer, if I said the wrong one. No.
Yeah.
Pete Best, the original drummer.
Well, we're tied.
Well, we go into next week tied.
You are, and maybe next week I should prepare multiple choice.
Yeah, maybe so.
I think we should. Now, guys, we've got Stepover coming into the studio soon, which is incredibly exciting. Well, I know you've seen live, Lewis.
Yeah, they were great. I saw them at Salford's very own Pint Pot last year, and they were absolutely excellent. They sold out the gig, and it was just a perfect atmosphere, Tom.
Brilliant.
So, guys, what is your favourite gig that you went to last year?
That's tough. I'm going to have to go, and I know you were at this gig as well, Katie. Yard Act, all the way back in March, almost a year ago now. Honestly, it was the first time I'd seen them at the O2 Apollo. Absolutely unbelievable. The sound was fantastic. I got my glasses knocked off my face halfway through, which scratched all the lenses. But honestly, that was unbelievable, and definitely my favourite gig of last year.
Yeah, so good.
That sounds great. Tom, I'll be honest, I'm struggling to decide. So I know, Tom, you've been working for the Mancunian, so you've gone to plenty of gigs last year. But I don't know if you guys have heard of the festival Sziget in Hungary.
Yes.
Ooh.
So I went there. Some of the bands that played were Fontaines DC. Not a band, but Near Archives played. Fred Again played. So some big artists. But I'm going to go for a guy you might not have heard of unless you like Eurovision. He's a guy called Joost Klein.
Okay.
Now, I absolutely love Joost Klein. He's got a bit of a tragic backstory. So both his parents died when he was young. Sorry to bring the mood down. No. But he's a very like energetic, he's like a Dutch rapper basically, and all of his set is like really high tempo. And so he's from Friesland, which is a part of the Netherlands, so they speak Friesisch or whatever it is. And everyone there was Dutch, and everyone was loving it. We were like the only English guys in the crowd. And he always ends with one of his songs, which is, let me think of it, Florida 2009, that's it. So that's about his parents dying, and it was just an amazing way to end the set. It was like basically almost an hour of like wall to wall, just like shouting and screaming. And at the end, he sang the song, he broke down and said, I love you all. And I'd never felt like an atmosphere like that in a gig before. It was just insane. And I was there with my friend who'd never heard of him before. And he thought, Eurovision. He was like, all right, I'll go with you to this bit. It was like the first one of the weekend. And he walked up there and went, that is like the best gig I've ever been to. So I'd probably say that was amazing.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good choices.
Yeah.
Very good choices. Well, talking about gigs, we've got some big gigs coming up, and it's my responsibility to do the gig guide.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Perfect. So, let's start off. On Wednesday, if you fancy a gig tomorrow night, City Dog have a free gig at Rat and Pigeon. It is their single launch. So that's going to be pretty special. We like a free gig.
Rat and Pigeon as well. Fantastic little independent venue there.
Yeah, so for this gig guide, every week it's all going to be small independent venues.
Yeah.
We all know what's happening at the big ones. You don't need me to tell you. So why don't we keep it small, especially independent venue week next week.
Absolutely.
It's got to be a thing. So then on Friday night, Funeral Care are at the Castle. On Saturday, Eam are at the Castle as well. One of Tom's new favourite bands, Gurriers.
Yes.
Are at the yes, they are on it. Yes, in the Pink Room.
I didn't get tickets though. I'm so annoyed.
I think you can still get them. There's some
really?
have been released.
Okay, I might have a snoop around then.
I'm sure you could have a word with a Mancunian and sneak yourself.
Weasel your way in. You'll be fine. And then finally on Saturday, this is one that I'm heading down to at Rat and Pigeon. We Are Live Events present Cat and Band, which I'm very excited about. Adam Hopper and the Wimps are also playing, and Wyatt. So that's going to be brilliant. I'm really excited for that. And Olive Esk are also on their lineup.
Fantastic.
That sounds amazing. Thank you, Katie. Now, talking of gigs, me and Tom are going to go over our independent venues and artists of the week.
Yes, Lewis. So I've gone, right, so I'm from Suffolk.
Yeah.
I'll make that very clear. Ipswich is one of the best places on the planet.
So I've been told.
Me. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go the Ipswich Smokehouse, a venue that I've played at many a time with my own band. It's just a lovely venue, and it's a lovely little independent spot, absolutely tiny, like 50 capacity. And I don't think you can kind of get much better than it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Tom. I'm going to raise you Sheffield's legendary Lead Mill.
That's quite
now,
good. I like that.
I've kind of gone with a heavy hitter for the first week, but being from Sheffield, I had to go to the Lead Mill. Now, there's been a bit of talk about them closing down and some absolute outcry. So we're still yet to hear the final decision on that. But so far, it's been through the courts twice, and they've luckily survived. Some of the biggest bands in the world have played there. You know, the Arctic Monkeys kind of got their start there. Pulp played their first ever gig, and everyone's auntie's favourite band, Coldplay, have played there.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I've been before. They have club nights. It's absolutely brilliant. Famous for their sticky floors. Sorry. Yeah, if you ask anyone's mum and dad in Sheffield, they'll have some great stories about the Lead Mill.
About the sticky floors.
Oh yeah, those sticky floors.
Well, I have to say, you spoke about independent artists.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to go with, I don't really know whether this counts, but I found this artist this week called Bean Stella.
I'll let you off, Tom.
You heard them? So they're from New York, I believe, from Manhattan. And I just stumbled across one of their songs, Manhattan Youth is what it's called. And it's absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to be following them. They've only had a few releases, but I'm going to be following them into the new year.
Yeah. Me and Tom were talking about this before the show, and I feel like I may have stolen this pick, but I'm going for West Side Cowboy.
Can you do the voice quickly?
West Side Cowboy! That's for you guys at home. Now, West Side Cowboy were first introduced to me by Black Country New Road drummer Charlie Wayne. Now, anything that is recommended by anyone to do with Black Country New Road, I am straight on it. So their only song that they've released, Anyone I Thought I Could Really Love Until I Met You. It's a long one, but it's absolutely brilliant. I've been listening to it non-stop, and they're really smashing it. A band out of Manchester, no less, Tom, and I'm expecting some really big things from them in the future.
They're fantastic. Katie, you actually recommended them to me.
I did. They are produced by the bassist from English Teacher, and apparently it's like a project for him to keep him busy. Lewis Whitland?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm so excited. Me and Tom have got tickets to go and see them.
I know. I'm very excited.
And even though they're my artist, I haven't got tickets, and I'm absolutely gutted. I know.
Well, as we tease at the top of the show, we welcome Stepover onto the sofa to have a little chat.
You all ready? Yeah.
Stepover, a four-piece independent band starring Jasmine Snape, Will White, Toby Mayer and Sam Rogers.
Forming in our very own Salford, the quartet met while studying music.
Already massing thousands of streams across streaming platforms and selling out gigs across Manchester. Please welcome to the studio, it's Stepover.
Oh. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Thank you. How are we all?
Very good.
Yeah. It's so good to have you on. So you're debuting on the Off the Record couch. You're the first band we've interviewed.
It's a tight squeeze.
It is. Yeah, it's a bit of a tight squeeze. So we're sorry about that. But I just want to take it right back to the beginning. So I want to go back to your debut single, released in May 2024. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was May.
So how does it feel, kind of going from that, not having anything out, to going having that first single out? How did that feel to get out?
Definitely not.
Like we weren't even. Well, we did our first gig in April, and then it was like the single's out.
But we didn't really have anything planned.
It was all quick turnaround. To be fair, it kind of came out of nowhere.
We just released it and then did everything afterwards.
Yeah.
Planning it all before, but
So it was quite unexpected.
And so had you written loads beforehand, and that was kind of the one that surfaced?
Well, that was the first one we'd written, so I guess
we'd probably only had a few tunes by that point. I think
4. I think.
Yeah. So the first song you wrote was the first song you recorded.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
I think it was once after that had come out, that was when stuff started really happening. I think. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We've been more in the studios, I guess, than it's only recently we've been gigging more. So it's like getting that out. It was more chronological with recording. And we just write stuff as and when to play live.
Because I think there's only like 4 or 5 songs in our first set that we played. So we didn't have that many at that point.
Yeah.
What were the other songs? Were they all originals, or were you going?
I think we had
one. I like it.
Was it one cover? I think, wasn't it?
One cover. What was the cover? Go on.
It's a band called Mama. Speedin' 72 is the song.
I like that.
Yeah. We haven't got it in our set at the moment, but we'd like to play it again.
Amazing.
Now, you guys have already got a music video released already. Talk to me a little bit about that. Who's in charge of creating the music videos? Is that something you think is important for the records? And you've also got a new one coming out soon as well.
Well, we met Jacob, didn't we? He does film. How did that? Did he ask us to do? Or did you?
Will initiated it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was Jacob and Archie were the main people doing that video, and yeah, it's like great because obviously they're like good mates of ours, but they, they do such a great job with stuff, and like you can I was just like on the phone explaining in a really bad way, and he somehow made it, turned it into something, which is
like he kind of knew what he wanted to do, and it just already aligned with what we wanted. So it just we met up in summer and just did it in like a little.
Well, it's pretty spontaneous as well because Will was literally like, I found this venue place, we can book it out. I reckon next week we should just book it and do it. Called Jacob and said, will you be able to get the kit for then? And we just did it in like 6 hours. So it was kind of a bit rushed, but it
I think the best way to do it.
I think that was the most fun, I think.
Is that a different skill for you, going from, because obviously, you're all primarily musicians, going to then having to be kind of stars of a video as well?
It's all right when you're playing, it's all right. When you've got something to distract yourself, but it's like, I wouldn't be able to do it if there was no guitars, it would be mad.
It was difficult as well, because we had the drum kit, the acoustic drum kit there. So it was like, if no one else could hear it. So I had the actual song in my ears, and I was going...
like sync up.
And then playing it through like 50, 60 times in one evening.
Yeah. I bet you're sick of it by the end.
Have you got any teasers for the new music video that's about to drop?
We will do. Like literally, I've got the final one ready pretty much like now, so we're sorting through getting that uploaded. So definitely.
All right, excited for that. And all you guys met here at Salford University. How did that come about? Did you know as soon as you met each other, you thought, we connect as musicians?
Well, weirdly, it's probably the opposite actually. I think. I think it took us a while to realise, because we're all kind of into quite different music. Kind of took us a while to find like the middle ground that we can all meet on. Because we've probably been friends for like a year and a half or whatever before we even like discussed about making.
Or like you guys,
it was us three had just started playing, but we knew the sort of direction we wanted to go down, so we was trying out with different singers, and it just wasn't working. But we always knew Jasmine was wanting to play with us.
It was kind of like a bit of a joke if I was actually going to be in it or not. It was like, I could go Jasmine. And then, I don't know, just did it one day and it was fun. We just decided to carry on.
And you must have some wacky stories from gigging. Is there anything that's happened while you've been gigging that's been...
Toby
nearly wiped out Jasmine.
Oh, that was quite...
You almost sued the venue.
The bruise was bad.
That was pretty...
You're calling them out on air.
It was a fun game.
No, it was fun,
Yeah, mate, well, it was a string of those sort of couple of gigs where it was like bare bones, like no PA, just playing in a pub.
But
it's a pub. It was good to just get and play, but it was like one of them we were on at 11:30 and it was just like the bar had closed by the time. I don't know how that works, but it's good. We're playing in Coventry on Friday. That'll be like a
brilliant
stage.
Cool venue.
And so what else is to come then from Stepover?
Just gigs more. We've got one in London in April, end of April. We're gonna get more through March, and then
next single.
Next single.
Aiming for like hopefully late February, and then the album.
Fantastic.
And the gig in Manchester, 3rd of February.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Shameless plug.
I'm all here.
Plug away.
Well, thank you so much, Stepover, for joining us on the sofa. Thank you for being our debut.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck in the future, guys. Thank you.
Too.
Thank you. Awesome. And that just about wraps up today's show. We hope you enjoyed our first edition of Off the Record.
Thank you so much to our guest this week, Stepover.
And thank you to the wonderful Katie Louise Buxton.
That's all for now, but we'll see you next time on Off the Record!